lovelies, it's Miss Lady Lace here on my Glamour channel, and I'm so excited to be back for 2022, and I thought I'd start with something rather exciting to share with all of you. Today I have for you a new vintage hairstyling tutorial where I'm going to be demonstrating today's glamorous look, which is inspired by Rita Hayworth. This video has been requested by one of my VIP Glamour patrons, and this is Miss_Cult_45 who's requested this video. Rita Hayworth is one of the most inspirational pinups and actresses from the 40s and 50s, and someone I've drawn a lot of inspiration from myself. For this look, I'm creating a hairstyle inspired by her. It is not directly identical to any look that she's particularly worn in one movie, but I've amalgamated a few of my favorite looks together to create this. For our tutorial today, you're going to need to wet set your hair, which I'll talk about in just a moment. You'll need a paddle hairbrush. I'm going to be using these 3 combs in addition to this. This one is going to be a wider thick tooth comb, another wide tooth comb, and a bristle comb, which is really good for teasing. You'll need some hairspray. I just use the Cheap Kohl's brand as I've used in all my tutorials, some poison apple pomade, and a few bobby pins. So let's get into today's tutorial. Before today's tutorial, I have set my hair with my foam curlers in my usual setting pattern. The only difference with this is that I have put a couple foam curlers in my front section where I usually do just a few pin curls for my victory rolls, but I want this to be a little bit more curled to create that classic Rita Hayworth look. To begin, I'm going to take out all these foam curlers apart from the 2 at the front. To get the classic Rita look today, with my rollers, what I've done is had them all rolling in, so all around my head they've gone in that same direction, apart from the 2 at the front here, which are kind of on an angle and rolling in this direction, so I can create kind of like a swept look going down. With my rollers out, I'm now going to start brushing. The biggest mistake most people make is they just grab their brush and start brushing through. I like to start in sections so it gets that nice and evenly brushed through. So I'm going to start with the side section here. So I've left the back and I'm going to leave the opposite side, and I'm going to start brushing from the bottom of the hair. If you start right up here, you can damage the curls and it also can create breakage in your hair. I'll then repeat that to the opposite side and the back. With each section now brushed lightly through, I'm going to go through and brush all sections together, and I'm going to do quite a thorough brush out. For my everyday pinup hair, I don't do as much of a brush out as I want it to last a little bit longer, while with this I really want that much looser curl look, so we're going to spend a bit of time brushing this out. Repeating the same as with each section, I'm starting at the end of the hair and working my way up. If this is one of your first wet sets, it can be a little bit nerve-wracking when you're brushing out your hair, but as you can see, the curls do hold up when set correctly. After about 3 minutes of brushing my hair, this is what it's looking like. So far this is looking quite lovely, but we're only about halfway there to creating our hair for today. Advice I hear from a lot of people who teach similar styling online is just to keep brushing and eventually you'll get the look you want. And I find this to be very incorrect, and it's probably also not going to last very long. So we have kind of just started brushing this out. We're now actually going to start styling it. To give this look a little bit more structure and also help it last a little bit longer throughout the day, I'm going to take a comb and I'm going to go underneath each section and give that a little bit of teeth, so it's giving it a bit of volume and something that's going to help it hold into place. I'm using my C motion and pushing in an upward direction to get the volume in there. I'm repeating this method around the underneath section towards the bottom of the hair. Next, we're going to take our paddle brush and neaten this up a little bit. So what I'm going to do is brush through the hair. As I'm brushing through, I'm going through the top section quite deep through, but as I get to the ends where the teasing is, I'm going to use my hands and just lightly brush that around my thumb or the palm of my hand to create the curl swooping under. And I'm going to repeat that all the way around my hair. As I'm doing the back of my hair, I can use a mirror to check how the back is looking, as if you're styling your own hair, this can be a little bit difficult to do on your own. Next, I'm going to take some Poison Apple pomade and I'm just going to apply that lightly through the hair just to help with any flyaways. For our next step, I'm going to be working on some more fine details in the style. As you can see with the curls, they naturally have waves that come through to help further emphasize them. What I'm going to do is brush the hair and stop when it comes to the wave, and I'm helping emphasize that area. This will help the waves fall in together, and I'm going to repeat that all around my head, applying very light pressure as I'm brushing through. I'll then check again using my mirror just to make sure that it's all falling together nicely and there's not too many split up areas where the waves aren't flowing down into that beautiful hairstyle. I'll then finish this bottom section with a decent amount of hairspray. As I'm hairspraying, I'm also trying to catch underneath the hair like so, as if it's only applied to the top section and not the section down here. If there's any wind or elements affecting the hair, it'll definitely get a little bit frizzier under there first. I'll then give that just a moment for that hairspray to dry. For the last part of our style, we're going to focus on our front section now. We'll start by taking out the rollers in this section. Typically at the front here, I like to style victory rolls and other fun styles, so this is very different for me, but I'm going to demonstrate a few of the methods I use to create that Rita Hayworth look. So we've got our two beautiful curlers here, which I curled on the angle, and we've left to last so we can really style that beautifully at the front. What I'm hoping to do is put some teasing through here and have the style so it's kind of flowing over onto this side here. So we're going to start by giving that a light brush through, the same as we did before when initially brushing our hair together. So we're starting at the ends and working our way up. So after even just a little bit of a brush, that is looking super cute. There isn't one Rita Hayworth hairstyle that I'm solely recreating, but just something inspired by her. What I'm going to do now is divide that through horizontally. It doesn't have to be perfect. And I'm going to tease through using a bristle brush, as I find this works really well in this section of my hair. I'm concentrating on getting the bulk of that teasing through this section here. With that teasing through here, we want to really smooth that area, but we're just going to be using a bristle brush or lightly using our paddle brush, not brushing all the way through, so we're definitely not taking out that teasing. I'm then going to brush out the ends, so I'm still getting that beautiful curl to flow through and continuing to smooth. Next, I'll take a bit of pomade and just go through to get that a little bit smoother. Taking a bit of hairspray. And I'm just manipulating the hair with my hand and also the end of the tail brush. I'll then take a couple bobby pins and secure that into place. So my first one, I want to catch the edge of this section down here, pushing that into place so it's quite well hidden, and it's just going to help this be a lot more secure. Taking another pin through the middle section and pressing down, and you can see this is starting to flow through really beautifully. The hair in this section here isn't sitting perfectly, so what I'm going to do is take a bit of hairspray and I'm going to press up against with my brush, and I'm just going to sit in this position and allow the hair to morph into that shape using the brush to support it. And as you can see, that shape is a lot smoother now. I want this area to feel quite secure, as if it's quite windy, this section's quite strong and teased together. But up here we can see a little bit of movement. So what I'm going to do is just take one more pin through that middle there, catching it nice and securely, but hiding it really beautifully. You can see that's much more secure now. I'm then just going to take some hairspray, smooth that with my hands, catching any flyaway hairs, and that's our fabulous look complete. Rita Hayworth's hair is truly iconic and something that's achievable for many of us. Unlike many modern vintage stylists that we see today that have that perfectly chiseled hair, when you look at pictures of Rita Hayworth and see her in films, she has fluffy hair, she has flyaways, and she's still effortlessly glamorous. So no matter what your hair type or no matter what it looks like, you can channel an essence of her style. I truly hope you've enjoyed today's video and found it a little bit useful. If you have, be sure to give it a like and a comment, as that really helps me out. And if there's any other vintage hairstyling tutorials or anything else you'd like to see here on my channel, do let me know in the comments below. If you'd like early access to these videos, exclusive content, and to help support me here on YouTube, I do have my Glamour community on Patreon. I have some really exciting things coming for Patreon in 2022, including requested photo sets every week, burlesque classes, and so much more. I'd like to thank all my patrons, but especially my VIP Glamour patrons. The support you give me truly helps me in creating more here on YouTube. To follow my daily pinup adventures, I post super regularly to Instagram and TikTok. I'll pop a little link here as well as at the end of the video. And to never miss out on my vintage fun, be sure to hit the subscribe button below and turn on those bell notifications, and I'll be seeing you all real soon.